Okay, so we're going to focus on analyzing an argument. At the very bottom of this document, you are going to find a letter to an editor, which will be part of your assignment, to read through it and then follow the 3 steps, the writing process steps. But first, I want to talk about analyzing an argument and then go through the steps thoroughly to make sure that you completely understand. Along with this, we're also going to use what we already talked about, the rhetorical triangle, as well as the common logical fallacies, to apply to this argument, to the letter, to make sure that it is a solid argument. So let's first take a look at analyzing argument in general. Most arguments, like the one below, don't provoke an analytical response at first. We react emotionally. This guy is so full of it. Perhaps it's about time someone spoke up about the cost of freedom. This letter, like many that raise controversial issues, triggers a whole set of deeply held beliefs about things such as patriotism, freedom of speech, and the purpose of art. These are things that should provoke discussion, and that inevitably trigger feelings. But without involving the head as well as the heart, it's impossible to have a civil discussion, one that will lead to new understanding. We need to understand not only what we ourselves believe, but also what the other guy believes. To see how this might work, we're going to try this exercise based on some ideas about an argument from American psychologist Carl Rogers. Carl Rogers was a therapist and one of the most famous experts on argument theory. Not surprisingly, he thought that when people feel really, really strongly about something, reason just doesn't work well. Instead, he believed a prerequisite to entering into an argument with someone else about a value-laden topic is to first listen and then say back what you understand him or her to be saying. So that's what we're going to try. So after we read the letter that is all the way at the bottom of this document, then we're going to walk through these 3 steps. So step 1, summarize what you understand to be the letter writer's basic argument. What claim is he making? And what seem to be the implied reasons behind it? You might use this as a template for your summary. Because of blank and blank, the letter writer argues that blank. Then you'll move into step 2. In step 2, now fast write for a few minutes, exploring your own take on the validity of the claim and the reasons. Then you'll move to step 3. Step 3 then, finally, write a brief analysis of the argument that includes the following. Begin with your understanding of the letter writer's argument and something about the circumstances that might lead someone to make such claims. Analyze the soundness of the reasons behind the argument. Do you agree or disagree with them? Is there a different way of thinking about them? And then number 3, state your own position. For example, what would you say about the relationship between art and politics, including the reasonings behind it? So here is the letter to the editor. You're going to read through that then, and then you're going to type up the 3 steps that we looked at, 1, 2, and 3. You can label them as 1, 2, and 3, and then write within, and then you will turn that in to me. If you have any other questions about the assignment, make sure to ask me online.